Hey guys, welcome back to Dexter Ranch. In today's video, we're going to be talking about this Bextra Hay Saver hay bale ring behind me. I just purchased it, but before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed. I have hit 1,000 subscribers, which is a big milestone. So I wanted to say thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. But back to the hay bale ring. So why did I purchase this? Well, last year I had a ton of hay wasted on the ground. So I was looking for something to try to correct that. As I work through the years, I'm always looking for ways to improve the operation, make things more efficient, and save money or not waste money, either way. Last year I used this typical farm store, I don't know, run-of-the-mill hay bale ring for the entire year, and I went ahead and fed one bale out of it just for this video so that we could see the amount of waste that comes from just one bale. And I'm moving out to a point to where I'm about 20 feet away from the bale ring right now, and there's still hay on the ground. Like I said, this is just one bale. This is the waste on the ground from one bale, and I mean, this is considerably thick. If I was to pile it up, it would be a good amount of hay. So just didn't have great luck with this. They did a study at the University of Oklahoma with this hay bale feeder, and that was the reason that I bought it, on top of the fact that it was recommended to me by one of my subscribers. So thank you to that subscriber. But they did a study at the University of Oklahoma, and they found that a typical bale feeder like this one here can waste up to 30% of your hay on the ground. Now, I don't know if this is 30% or not. It'd be really hard for me to try to calculate that, even if I gathered it all up. I don't think that I could make a case and have real numbers, so I'm not going to do that. But there is a lot of hay on the ground. With this, when they did their test at the University of Oklahoma, they found that it was all the way down to 7% waste. And I believe that the idea is that it's too tight up here, even though I'm pretty sure my cattle will still pull from right here. We'll see. I just loaded this in here. This is the very first bale that I put in here. But the idea is that they're going to be eating from down in these holes down here, and the hay that falls out of their mouth, or the hay that they pull from here, if it happens to fall, it'll just fall right back down into the bottom and be able to be consumed later on. So I believe that's the idea behind the design. But these standard hay bale feeders are about $180 at my local Orscheln's. I gave $610 for this, so it's quite a bit more expensive. But if it does what it says it does, then this thing will pay for itself this year. This is the hay waste from last year, and this has shrank considerably since I piled it up. This started out, it was probably as tall as the lower part of the barn roof there, and it's just a lot of hay wasted. Now, I'll find good use for this compost, but I would say that I had probably 20 hours invested in just pulling this all off of the ground and stacking it here. It's a considerable time investment, and it's kind of an eyesore, and I just don't want to deal with it. As much as I can find uses for it, I would rather not have it here if I could, and I'd rather have it in the cows' bellies. Like I said, this is the first hay bale that I put in here. My initial thoughts on the loading process is I don't know if I did it right or not, but initially I had set the bale on the ground and then tried to take the skid steer and set the hay bale ring over the top of the hay bale, and that didn't work out because this ring right here is a smaller diameter than my hay bales are. So the hay bale feeder was not setting down on the ground when I tried to do it that way. So then I moved the hay bale ring off to the side, and then I set the hay bale inside of the feeder. And I still don't know if that's exactly, I mean, it kind of just demolished the hay bale. As you can see, it just kind of turned into this big pile of hay once I sat in there, because it can't fit through the hole. So it just kind of turned into this tornado cone of hay here that you see. So if somebody out there, maybe the guy that suggested this to me, knows if this is the way you're supposed to load these or not, leave that in the comments below if you know anything about this style of hay bale feeders. But like I said, if it ends up working out and it only weighs 7%, then it's going to pay for itself this year, and that would be a significant improvement over last year's hay waste. So I'm excited to see what happens. I did it right here in this area so that I can compare. Alright guys, this is with them having access to it for 24 hours. And as you can see, it looks like most of the eating is happening through these larger holes here. They've almost got the middle ate away to where it's going to collapse and begin to let some more hay down from the top. They ate quite a bit, it looks like, last night. But as far as hay that's making it to the ground, it's very, very minimal. We're just talking about sprinkles here. So from what I'm seeing after just this short time, I'll make a video after I put this thing through its paces. But from what I'm seeing right now, it appears to be doing its job. So that's good news. Hopefully this thing ends up reducing my hay waste, and that was the reason for the video and the reason for purchasing the hay feeder. So if the video's been helpful to you, make sure you hit the like button. And as always, if you haven't subscribed to Dexter Ranch yet, please consider doing so, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.